All right, so today we're diving into the history of AI. And wow, this is a big one. We're going way back to the beginning, like the very early roots of AI to where we are now and where we might be headed in the future. And when I say way back, I mean way back because this stuff didn't just appear overnight. It's been evolving for decades.
And it's fascinating how far back it goes because, it's not just about building machines that can think or, do tasks. It's about trying to understand the human mind and how we learn and how intelligence itself actually works.
So it's like we're trying to decode the secrets of our own brains and then translate that into code so machines can do the same things.
Exactly. And that journey takes us back to, you might be surprised to hear 1956 with the Dartmouth Summer Research Project. This is really considered like the official birth of AI.
Wow, 1956. I had no idea it went back that far. I mean, what was going on back then? Were they really thinking about like robots and computers that could think like humans?
Well, they had this idea that every aspect of learning or any kind of intelligence could actually be simulated by a machine. And there was a group of super smart people there, like John McCarthy, Marvin Minsky, the pioneers of AI. They were all gathered there brainstorming and really laying out this ambitious plan for AI research.
Yeah. So they were basically saying, hey, we think machines can learn just like humans, and here's how we're going to figure it out.
Yeah, and their enthusiasm was contagious. They really believed they were on the verge of this technological revolution, and honestly, in a lot of ways, they were, right?
But I'm guessing it wasn't exactly smooth sailing from Dartmouth to, self-driving cars and Siri and all the AI we have today.
Oh, definitely not. It was like a roller coaster ride. There were these breakthroughs, these moments where it felt like things were really taking off, and then there were setbacks periods of what they call AI winters, where funding dried up and people kind of lost interest for a while. But the core ideas, they never really went away. They just kept evolving. Researchers kept working and refining them, and eventually things would heat up again.
So it was like two steps forward, one step back kind of thing.
Exactly. And each step, even the setbacks, were crucial to get to where we are now. You learn from mistakes, you refine your approaches, and you build upon the knowledge that came before.
Okay, so let's talk about some of those steps. Let's put some milestones on this timeline.
Well, just a few years after Dartmouth in 1959, there was this guy, Arthur Samuel, at IBM. He developed a program that could play checkers.
Checkers, huh? So not exactly world domination yet,
Yeah.
but I'm guessing there was something special about this checkers program.
Yeah, the groundbreaking part was that it could actually improve its strategy over time based on its experiences.
Whoa, so it was like a computer learning on its own.
Exactly. It was one of the earliest examples of machine learning in action, and it really opened people's eyes to the possibilities. If a computer could learn to play checkers better and better, what else could it learn to do?
So this is where we start hearing about neural networks, right?
Yeah.
I know that's a big part of AI today, but to be honest, I'm not entirely sure what they are.
So neural networks, it's basically a type of AI that's modeled after the human brain. So you know how our brains have all these interconnected neurons that transmit information?
Yeah, like a massive network of connections, right?
Right. So neural networks, they try to mimic that structure. They have these interconnected nodes that process and transmit information, just like neurons in our brains. And by adjusting the connections between these nodes, the network can learn to do specific tasks, just like our brains learn by forming new connections.
So it's like teaching a computer to think by rewiring its virtual brain.
Exactly. And these early neural networks, they showed a lot of promise, but they also ran into limitations because the computers back then just weren't powerful enough.
Makes sense. It's like having the blueprint for a skyscraper, but not the materials to actually build it.
Right. And that's exactly what happened in the 1970s. Funding dried up, people lost interest. It was another one of those AI winters I mentioned.
So neural networks, they basically went into hibernation, waiting for technology to catch up.
Exactly. And then in the late 80s, 90s, things started to change. Computers got more powerful, new algorithms were developed, and suddenly neural networks were back in the game, and this time they were ready to show what they could really do.
So the comeback kid, huh? And I bet this is when we start seeing some of the really big breakthroughs in AI.
You bet. One of the most memorable moments was in 1997 when Deep Blue, this chess playing computer developed by IBM, defeated Garry Kasparov, the reigning world chess champion.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. It was huge news, a computer beating a chess grandmaster.
It was a major turning point because it really captured the public's imagination. People started to realize, hey, AI is getting serious. This is not just science fiction anymore.
It was like a wake-up call to the world. AI is here and it's capable of amazing things.
Exactly. And from there, the pace of development just kept accelerating, especially in the 2000s with the rise of big data.
Okay, big data,
Yeah.
another one of those buzzwords we hear all the time. So what exactly does it mean And how does it relate to AI?
Big data. It's basically just the massive amounts of information that we're generating every day now with all our digital devices. Every click, every purchase, every social media post, it all adds up to this ocean of data. And AI thrives on data. It needs data to learn to identify patterns to make predictions.
So all our smartphones, our social media habits, the whole Internet of Things, it's all feeding this AI engine, making it smarter and smarter.
Exactly. It's a symbiotic relationship. More data leads to better algorithms, and better algorithms can handle even more data. It's this cycle that's driving the rapid progress we're seeing.
Okay, so we've got all this data fueling AI and these increasingly powerful algorithms, but how exactly do these AI systems actually learn?
So there are two main approaches, supervised learning and unsupervised learning, and they both play a crucial role in how AI is evolving.
Okay, supervised versus unsupervised. I'm ready to go deeper down the AI rabbit hole.
All right, so let's start with supervised learning. Imagine you're training a dog. You give it treats when it does something right. You correct it when it does something wrong.
So it's all about giving clear feedback so the dog learns what you want it to do.
Exactly. Supervised learning is kind of like that we give the algorithm labeled data, meaning we tell it the correct answer for each example, so it learns to make accurate predictions based on that feedback.
So it's like saying, okay, computer, here's a picture of a cat, here's a picture of a dog. Now go figure out how to tell the difference.
Right. And this is how we train AI for things like image recognition, spam filtering, even facial recognition on your phone.
So it's all about learning from examples and getting better with practice.
Now, unsupervised learning is a little different. We don't give the algorithm labeled data. Instead, we let it explore the data on its own and try to find patterns in relationships.
So it's more like giving a kid a bunch of Legos and saying, go build something cool. They don't tell them what to build. They just figure it out on their own.
Exactly. And this is really useful for things like clustering data, finding anomalies, and making recommendations. Like when Netflix suggests a show, you might, like, they're not explicitly telling the algorithm what you like. It figures it out by analyzing patterns in your viewing history.
Wow, so it's like AI is becoming more and more independent, able to learn and adapt on its own.
And that's what makes it so powerful and also a little bit scary, because the more AI learns, the more questions it raises about the future of work, about the impact on society, about the very nature of intelligence itself.
It's like we're opening up this Pandora's box of possibilities, and we need to be really thoughtful about how we manage this technology.
Absolutely. Understanding the history of AI is crucial because it helps us appreciate how far we've come, and it gives us context for thinking about where we're headed.
It's like we're standing on the shoulders of giants, all those researchers and pioneers who paved the way for the AI we have today, and now it's our turn to shape the future of this technology. Okay, so we've traveled from that first gathering of minds back in 1956 at Dartmouth, all the way through, the rise of neural networks, Deep Blue beating Kasparov, the whole big data explosion, and it's clear AI is like this unstoppable force now, right? It's changing everything.
Yeah, and what's really mind-blowing is how fast it's all happening. Each breakthrough, each advancement, it builds on what came before, and it just accelerates the pace of innovation. Like it's the snowball rolling down a hill, getting bigger and faster and faster.
And it's a little scary, right? I mean, knowing that this snowball isn't slowing down, it makes you think, wow, what's next? How is this going to impact like our lives, our jobs, our whole society?
Yeah, those are the big questions, and to really understand where AI is going, we need to look beyond just the technology itself. We have to think about the human side of it, the implications for people, for communities.
So it's like we've been focusing on the how of AI, like how it works, how it's developed, but now we need to shift gears and think about the why and the what if. Like, what's the purpose of all this? What values are we building into these systems? And what are the potential downsides that we need to be aware of?
You're hitting on something really important there. As AI becomes more powerful and more integrated into our lives, we have to think about the ethical side of things, the impact on individuals, on society as a whole.
Okay, so let's start with the future of work, because that's probably the biggest concern for a lot of people, right? Will robots take over all the jobs? Will there be anything left for humans to do?
It's a valid concern, and it's something we need to be thinking about very carefully. It's true that AI is getting better and better at automating tasks, even tasks that we used to think only humans could do. And yeah, as that happens, some jobs are definitely going to change. Some might even disappear.
But isn't that kind of how it's always been with technology?
Yeah.
New inventions come along and some jobs become obsolete, but then new jobs are created.
Yeah, exactly. Throughout history, technology has always disrupted the job market. It's like this constant evolution, and AI is just the latest wave of that evolution.
So the key is to adapt, right? To be prepared for the jobs of the future.
Yeah, and that means investing in education and training programs that focus on the skills that are going to be in high demand in an AI-driven world.
So what kind of skills are we talking about here? The things that humans can do better than machines.
Exactly. Skills like critical thinking, problem solving, creativity, communication, collaboration, there's uniquely human skills that are hard to automate.
So it's not just about learning a specific trade, it's about developing those core skills that allow you to adapt to any situation.
Absolutely. In the future, the most valuable skill will be the ability to learn and adapt continuously, to be a lifelong learner.
So it's almost like AI is pushing us to become more human, to focus on those things that make us unique.
Yeah, I think there's something to that. As machines get better at doing the routine tasks, it frees us up to focus on the things that require creativity, empathy, human connection.
Okay, so we need to be proactive about adapting to the changing job landscape. But what about the bigger picture? The impact of AI on society as a whole.
Yeah, that's where things get really interesting because AI has the potential to transform pretty much every aspect of our lives,
Yeah.
from healthcare and education to transportation and entertainment. And as we've talked about, this rapid pace of development, it comes with both incredible opportunities and some serious challenges.
It's like we're standing at this crossroads, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have this incredibly powerful tool at our disposal, but it's up to us to decide how we use it, what values guide its development, and what kind of future we want to create with it.
That's a great way to put it. The future of AI is not some predetermined thing. It's something that we're actively shaping with the decisions we make today.
So we need to be having these conversations now, right, about the ethical implications of AI, about how to ensure that it's used for good and not for harm.
Absolutely. And that means having a balanced perspective, acknowledging both the potential benefits and the potential risks of AI.
So on the one hand, we have the possibility of incredible advancements in things like healthcare. AI could help us diagnose diseases earlier, develop personalized treatments, maybe even cure diseases that are currently incurable.
Right. And in other fields too, AI could help us address climate change, develop more sustainable energy sources, improve education, personalized learning. The possibilities are really vast.
But then on the other hand, there are concerns about AI being misused, right, for things like surveillance
Yeah.
manipulation, even autonomous weapons systems, things that could really harm people.
Yeah, those are very real concerns, and that's why it's so important to have these ethical discussions, to be thinking about how to develop AI responsibly, how to ensure that it aligns with human values.
So it's not just about the technology itself, it's about the human choices that guide its development and deployment.
Exactly. It's about asking ourselves what kind of world we want to live in and how we can use AI to create a more just equitable and sustainable future for all.
That's a really powerful message. It reminds us that we're not passive bystanders in this technological revolution. We're active participants, and we have the power to shape its trajectory.
And as we move forward, it's important to remember that AI is not this monolithic thing. It's a collection of different technologies, each with its own capabilities and potential applications. And just like we've seen throughout its history, the evolution of AI is driven by innovation adaptation and this willingness to push the boundaries of what's possible.
So what does that mean for the future?
Right.
What are some of the big trends and developments that we should be keeping an eye on?
Well, one area that's generating a lot of buzz is artificial general intelligence, or AGI.
AGI. So this is like the idea of AI that's not just good at specific tasks, but AI that can learn and reason at a level comparable to or even exceeding human intelligence across all domains.
Exactly. It's like the holy grail of AI research, the idea of creating a truly intelligent machine, maybe even a conscious machine.
I mean, that sounds like something straight out of science fiction, right?
Yeah. It does, and it's a topic that sparks a lot of debate. Some experts believe that AGI is a real possibility, maybe even an inevitability, given how fast AI is developing.
So they see it as the next logical step in AI's evolution.
Right. They argue that as AI systems become more complex, more interconnected, and more capable of learning from these massive amounts of data, they'll eventually reach a point where their intelligence surpasses our own.
But I'm guessing not everyone agrees.
Right. Some researchers are more skeptical. They argue that AGI is fundamentally different from the kind of AI we have today and that we're nowhere near achieving it.
So it's like this ongoing debate between the optimists and the skeptics, the believers and the doubters.
Exactly. And it's a fascinating debate to follow because even if AGI remains elusive for now, the advances we're seeing in narrow AI are already pushing the boundaries of what machines can do, and they're raising all sorts of new questions about the relationship between humans and machines.
It's like we're on this train that's accelerating faster and faster, And while we can't predict exactly where it's going or when it will arrive, we need to be prepared for the journey, both the incredible opportunities and the potential challenges.
That's a great analogy. And as we continue this deep dive into the world of AI, it's important to keep this historical perspective in mind, to understand how each advancement has built upon what came before and to appreciate this incredible pace of innovation that's driving us forward.
It's been fascinating to trace the evolution of AI from its humble beginnings to where we are today. And now I'm really eager to hear your thoughts on where this all might be headed, what the future of AI holds, and what it means for all of us.
I'm happy to share my perspective. The future of AI is full of possibilities, and it's really up to all of us to shape its trajectory in a way that benefits humanity.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive. We've gone from the birth of AI all the way to discussions of AGI and the future of work. But, it's all been a bit theoretical so far. So I'm really excited to bring things down to earth a bit in this last part and talk about some real world applications of AI. Like, how is this stuff actually being used in different fields?
Hmm.
Because for a lot of people, AI might still feel like this abstract futuristic concept, but it's actually all around us. It's woven into our lives in ways we might not even realize.
Yeah, you're right. AI is already being used in so many different industries and applications, from healthcare and finance to transportation, entertainment. And, a lot of times it's working behind the scenes, making our lives easier, safer, more efficient without us even knowing it's there.
Okay, so let's start with healthcare, because that's one of the areas where AI seems to hold the most promise,
Yeah.
like using it to diagnose diseases earlier, develop new treatments, improve patient care, all that good stuff.
Yeah, healthcare is definitely one of the most exciting frontiers for AI. And one area where it's already making a big impact is in medical imaging. AI algorithms can now analyze scans and images like X-rays, CT scans, MRIs with incredible accuracy, often exceeding the capabilities of human radiologists.
But it's like AI is giving doctors a superpower, allowing them to see things that might have been missed by the human eye.
Exactly. And that can lead to earlier diagnosis, more effective treatments, and ultimately better outcomes for patients.
Wow, so AI is not just helping doctors do their jobs better, it's actually saving lives.
And another area where AI is revolutionizing healthcare is in drug discovery and development.
Wow.
Traditionally, finding new drugs, therapies has been this really slow, expensive process, but AI is changing that by accelerating the research process.
So how does that work?
Well, AI algorithms can analyze massive amounts of data from clinical trials, scientific papers, all sorts of sources, and they can use that data to identify promising drug candidates to predict the effectiveness of different treatments, even to personalize treatments based on a patient's unique genetic profile.
So it's like moving towards a future of personalized medicine where treatments are tailored to each individual's needs.
Exactly. And AI is playing a key role in making that vision a reality. It's not just about developing new treatments, it's about optimizing the delivery of care. AI powered systems can help manage patient records, schedule appointments, even provide virtual consultations, making healthcare more accessible and efficient.
So it's like AI is touching every aspect of healthcare, from the big picture stuff like drug discovery to the everyday tasks that make the system run smoothly.
And that's just the beginning. There are so many other exciting applications of AI in healthcare that we could talk about.
It sounds like AI is truly transforming medicine in incredible ways. Okay, so we've talked about healthcare. What about other industries? Where else is AI making a big splash?
Well, finance is another area where AI is having a major impact. AI algorithms are being used by banks and financial institutions to detect fraudulent transactions in real time, which helps protect consumers from financial losses.
So it's like AI is our financial watchdog, keeping an eye out for suspicious activity.
Exactly. And AI is also being used to assess credit risk, personalize financial advice, automate trading in the stock market. It's really changing the landscape of finance in a big way.
Okay, so AI is making our financial systems more secure, more efficient, more personalized.
hmm
What about transportation? I know self-driving cars are the big thing everyone's talking about, but are there other ways AI is being used in transportation?
Yeah, self-driving vehicles are definitely one of the most visible applications of AI in transportation, and they have the potential to revolutionize the way we travel. But AI is also playing a role in optimizing logistics and supply chain management. AI-powered systems can track goods in real time, predict delivery times, optimize routes, all sorts of things that make the whole process more efficient and reliable.
So it's like AI is bringing intelligence to the entire transportation ecosystem, from the vehicles themselves to the systems that manage the flow of traffic.
Exactly. And it's not just about efficiency.
Yeah.
AI can also help improve safety in transportation, for example, by detecting potential hazards on the road or optimizing traffic flow to reduce congestion.
It sounds like AI is poised to transform transportation in some really exciting ways. Okay, so we've talked about healthcare, finance, transportation. What about something a little more fun like entertainment?
Well, AI is definitely making its way into the entertainment industry too. Streaming services like Netflix and Spotify use AI algorithms to personalize recommendations, suggest movies, shows, music that align with your tastes.
So that's how Netflix seems to know exactly what I want to watch even before I do.
Yeah, and video game developers use AI to create more realistic and challenging opponents, which makes the games more fun and engaging. And even Hollywood is using AI to create stunning special effects and generate realistic digital characters.
So AI is not just about solving problems and automating tasks. It's also about creating more immersive and engaging experiences.
Exactly. And one of the most fascinating areas of research is exploring the creative potential of AI. Can AI compose music, write screenplays, generate art that rivals human creativity?
Hmm.
Those are questions that researchers are actively exploring, and the results are pretty amazing.
Wow. I mean, the idea of AI creating art is mind-blowing, but it also raises some interesting questions about, what is creativity? What does it mean to be human if machines can create art too?
Yeah, those are definitely questions we need to grapple with as AI continues to evolve.
It's clear that AI is already having a profound impact on our world, and its influence is only going to grow in the years to come. We've talked about so many different industries and applications, but we've really only scratched the surface.
That's right. And as we wrap up this deep dive, I think it's important to emphasize that the future of AI is not predetermined. It's something that we're actively shaping with the choices we make today.
So we need to be thoughtful about how we develop and use this technology, right, to make sure that it's used for good and not for harm.
Exactly. We need to be having those ethical conversations, those conversations about values, about the kind of future we want to create with AI.
I think that's a great takeaway. It's not just about the technology itself, it's about the human choices that guide its development and deployment.
And it's about recognizing that AI is not this separate thing. It's intertwined with our lives, with our society, with our future.
Well, I want to thank you for joining me on this incredible journey into the world of AI. It's been a fascinating exploration.
It's been a pleasure to be here, and I hope our listeners have enjoyed this deep dive as much as we have.
And to all our listeners out there, thank you for tuning in and keep exploring the world of AI. It's a world full of possibilities, and it's a world that we're all shaping together. So stay curious, stay engaged, and let's build a future with AI that we can all be proud of.